let's take a look at our J and our P, lowercase j and P. So with our J, it's a pretty easy one. We're going to make an I, stop at the dotted line, and we're going to follow, just like an I, we're going to follow all the way back down, and we're going to go below the bottom line, and then we're going to loop, just like we did with our G. And then we go back and dot, and go up to the dotted line, down, loop, and dot. Now, a couple things we want to avoid. We don't want it to be super tall like this. It needs to stop at the dotted line. It's really important that we touch the bottom line and we touch the dotted line. Then we don't want to have a big tent. Just like we've talked about before with our T, we don't want a big tent. We want to follow down and then just a little loop, and then we dot up top. Now our P, this one is a kind of interesting one because we're actually going to go a little bit past the dotted line, and then we're going to follow back down, and we're going to loop just like we did with that J, but now instead of coming across, we're going to follow back up to the dotted line. We're going to make a circle and then come out. Now this P, it has to come up here and touch this dotted line, almost like we did with our K. So we're going to go up past the dotted line, down below, loop like a J, follow up to the dotted line, around and out. And this loop here, this hump right here, should be touching the dotted line and the bottom line. Let's try one more of those. Start on the bottom line, up past the dotted line, down below, follow up to the dotted line, around and out. So again, it's important that we're keeping these close together. We don't want big spaces in between our letters. And one thing we want to avoid with this P here that can be a little tricky is you want to make sure that you're following the right direction. We don't want to see this, because we can tell that that's going the wrong direction. You have to follow all the way back up to the top before you make your loop. So up past the dotted line, down, follow up, not around this way. You follow up to the top, to the dotted line, around and out, just like that.